Archaeologists sometimes find surprising and bizarre discoveries. Sometimes the finding is so unexpected that they cannot describe what they've discovered, how it came to be, or determine its worth. Hello and welcome to our channel, Mystery Amuse. Today, we will explore bizarre discoveries about ancient civilizations and our ancestors in this video. Before we move on, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Archaeologists are continually discovering bizarre relics and findings from ancient civilizations. Here are 7 ridiculous things that have been discovered about our ridiculous forefathers. Number 7. Sandby Borg Massacre. When archaeologists excavating a 5th century Swedish site discovered a human skeleton on the floor of a house, they questioned why it hadn't been buried. Then they found another, and yet another. They had all been killed with swords, daggers, and clubs, and then deserted until their buildings crashed in on them. It dawned on us that this was truly a massacre, said Clara Alfstadter, a PhD student at Linnaeus University in Sweden and an archaeologist at the Bohusmans Museum. So far, they've discovered the bones of 26 individuals, a half-eaten fish, indicating that the assault was unexpected, money and jewelry, but no clue of who the attackers were or what they are really angry about. Number 6. Injured zoo animals in ancient Egypt. Hierakonpolis was one of the most important settlements along the Nile River 5,000 years ago, hundreds of years before the pyramids were built. Its rich citizens demonstrated their affluence by owning exotic creatures. Among the creatures discovered during a cemetery excavation were 2 elephants, many baboons, and a hippo. But it wasn't all chow and petting. The bones of many of the baboons and a hippo reveal traces of healed bone fractures. Experts believe they were injured during capture or while being tethered in place. However, the bones could only mend while the animals were protected, which is how we know they were kept in captivity. These creatures are helping scientists solve major riddles. Number 5. Kids with disabilities buried like royalty. Hunter-gatherers buried 6 individuals, including 2 teenage boys, 34,000 years ago at Sanger, a couple of hours east of present-day Moscow. When the tombs were excavated, researchers discovered that the boys were buried alongside heads adjacent, with 10,000 mammoth ivory beads, more than 20 armbands, over 300 pierced fox teeth, 16 ivory mammoth spears, carvings, antlers, and human fibula put across each child's chest. Among the adults, though, some graves contained no valuables while others had just a handful. Number 4. Tiny human or alien. A 6-inch tall corpse with a pointed skull was discovered organically mummified in Chile's Atacama Desert in 2003, despite the widespread belief that the skeleton, which possessed bone density comparable to that of a 6-year-old despite its small stature, was an alien. Scientists have subsequently been able to sequence and analyze its DNA. As the female mummy is known, Ata was discovered to be human. She was most closely connected to indigenous Chileans, but also possessed a slight European heritage. Researchers found 7 separate mutations in her growth genes, but they are unsure which triggered her skeletal abnormality. Number 3. Pet cemetery. Sonia Guillen, a Peruvian anthropologist, was digging a 1,000-year-old cemetery south of Lima. Still, her team discovered more than just humans. The residents of the Chiribaya civilization, which predated the Inca Empire, buried 43 dogs there. The cherished pets employed to herd llamas were buried in separate sites alongside their human owners. Many were cremated with gifts and blankets. Gillen observed how similar the dogs appeared to a famous current breed called the Chiribaya Shepherd because the desert temperature preserved their corpses. Her team is now attempting to verify a genetic connection. Number 2. Medieval maternity. A lady in the Italian town of Imola died some 1,300 years ago, only a few weeks before she was set to give birth. Archaeologists found the bones of her fetus between her legs, making her a rare case of a coffin birth, in which gases build up within a pregnant woman's body and force the fetus out of a delivery canal. However, experts are more intrigued by another strange discovery. A tiny hole had been made in the mother's skull before she died. Drilling such a hole is known as trepanation. It has been used throughout history and across the globe to cure head injuries and headaches and potentially to ward off bad spirits. In this instance, experts wonder whether she had preeclampsia or eclampsia, pregnancy-related illnesses characterized by very high blood pressure and seizures. Number 1. The Hobbits. Some scientific findings are absolutely out of this world. The 2003 discovery of hobbits on the isolated Indonesian island of Flores is a case in point. No, scientists did not discover a real-life Shire. Still, they did discover the bones of the tiny ancient hominin Homo floresiensis, which they called the Hobbit. The first Hobbit skeleton recovered belonged to a 30-year-old adult female standing 3.5 feet tall. Initially, experts thought the tiny bones belonged to a person with microcephaly, a disorder characterized by a small skull and low height. However, further finds of comparable size remains showed that the Hobbit isn't simply a little human, it's a separate species. However, the precise position of hobbits in the family tree of hominins, human ancestors, remains unknown. That was it for today's video, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to share it with friends. We will see you in the next video. Till then, take care.